protection for the Xavier in that backline.
Again, for me, I'm going to have to go with Onyx draft here. Probably because of the 1-1, but yeah. Onyx for me. Arashi, quick prediction.
I gotta say, I think RRQ has the more active composition. I think for the most part, Onic will be trying to react to them, and that is never a good idea when two teams of such magnitude clash against each other.
I have to agree with you. I'm going to go for RRQ Hoshi on this one.
2 RRQ votes, 1 Onic. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to dive into the Land of Dawn for game number 2. Aura were knocked out by Onic, and Onic will try to do the same right now to RRQ, maybe even repeating what happened in the Season 8 Grand Finals. But RRQ, with this draft, they do look very intimidating in that early stage.
Let's hope their endurance pays off here for the side of Onic Esports. They've played so many games this time around, and well, I want to see this endure. I mean, Vin already taken so low by Keyboy. This is his signature pick, by the way, so the Selena.
Yes.
Duel of the two aggressive roamers, and in the early game, the Selena will have an overwhelming advantage. In the late game, though, the potential for the Natalia to just pick something off is a lot more dynamic. So right now, the Little Wanderer was taken by Albert, and for the most part, RRQ Hoshi still has the advantage.
Note this down, Arashi, because I'm feeling like Albert might win a lot of these Retribution battles. Just note down how many times he's won, right? So in game number 1, I think he's done it once, and here is the second time. Let's see, Vin jumping onto Sans, just putting the damage down, as Sans will have a tougher time to beat this orange buff. But I think he should be able to take it without any problems here. He still has a Retribution. He won't use it just yet. But this is why Vin on Natalia is just so annoying. Abyssal Arrow will not connect. Clay spots Keyboy in that bush. Boots rotates to that bottom, that topside river, helping out in the mid lane. But both teams, again, not really going for too aggressive plays here in the early stage.
I don't think just yet. I think the fight is going to be brewing soon as a product of the turtle that is going to spawn in under 16 seconds. The setup for the side of RRQ Hoshi does seem like a bit dominant in that area, but Sans is going to be rotating as well.
Right, I mean, the hard part here for Onic Esports is the fact that their jungler is an assassin, so he's a lot more susceptible to just getting disturbed, getting picked off by that aggressive roamer. Whereas for RRQ Hoshi, for the most part, Albert on that box here won't be in too much of a tough spot, being harassed by the Selena.
Okay, so this is quite interesting, right? Because Albert is on that Demon Slayer as well as Sans. Let's see who has a better Retribution, like Mirko mentioned earlier.
Let's see, it's going to be the 50-50 battle here. Vin jumps in onto Boots. There's no damage to him, as he will be able to regen back up with the first ability. Vin looking for something here, jumps onto Boots, has this smoke bomb as well. Both teams looking for the turtle. Immobility, Mystic Field has been placed. Drion looking for a pick. Albert as well, shielding to the backside. Boots going to go very aggressively, but it is going to be Vin who pops that smoke bomb. He needs to be careful here because that's the Mystic Field connecting, and first blood will be claimed by Onic Esports, presented to you by the Samsung Galaxy A series. Clay, gotta be careful. Albert will not win this one. Sans gets the better Retribution right on point, and R7 will be forced to back away. Flickers out of the Abyssal Arrow, but will have his HP chunked by the Dawning Light.
You can see Keyboy going with a lot of movement speed in his emblem choice as well. He is attempting to be as active as possible to affect the whole of the map. And interesting enough, R7 also has the same idea. We know that his signature pattern from R7. If he is able to get an advantage here over Boots on the Esmeralda, he will be all around the map making plays with the wild charge. But of course, that's easier said than done.
See, it's so hard. Every time Vin wants to go for an aggressive play, it's going to be the side of Onic Esports, Selena just sniffing him out. And once again, I mean, it's Skylar on the Beatrix. It's going to hit. It's going to hit. They just need to be able to figure out how to maneuver around it at this stage, honestly, as CW gets cornered.
Oh, he is going to get hit by the Abyssal Arrow, though. Keyboy will be able to chunk him low. Sans is here. Skylar forces a flicker, but the Stingers will connect. He is going to be able to pick up the kill. Vin caught in the Abyssal Arrow once again. Keyboy just so on point, but Albert, he's taking every single shot from the side of CW. He has the crossbow of Tang, but Albert pops that Turtles' Poisons. He will be able to get out. Clay looking for a play. Sans will just back up. Vin going in. Gets the silence, but Sans is way too slick. He gets out before RRQ were able to do anything about it. Onic with the lead.
Onic Esports with a 1,000 gold lead at that. So Onic Esports have had the favorable trades over the board. It does seem like Onic Esports also has control onto the turtle. So the next turtle will spawn in under 30 seconds. We'll see how this goes. But to be honest, if that skirmish happened in the bottom side and Albert was on an assassin, I think that would have ended a little bit differently. The problem is the Baxia doesn't give him as much flexibility to play around with. And this might be a mistake for the side of RRQ Hoshi.
Absolutely, man. Albert on the box here, not as much outplay potential, not a lot more damage. So when both teams are equal right now, Albert just doesn't have the same impact he has. Although if RRQ Hoshi gets a momentum, gets an advantage, that Baxia pick will be a lot more obnoxious than the held Kurt pick from Sans.
Well, the retribution will be there this time around. R7 gets a wild charge, and that's going to be the instant knockout for the side of RRQ. They chain CC Sans, and he was just knocked out. Look at him. He's dead on the ground. Onic looking to get out here of this position.
Oh,
Boots
the wall.
caught in the bad situation. Good wall from R7, but Boots will be able to maneuver out. Yeah, that was brutal. Sans did not move the entire time.
Stuck,
yeah,
basically.
he was literally stuck. R7 wild charge, that's 2 seconds in the air, and then shield unity. Then he just got bursted down by the yin yang overturn.
And then done.
And then
That's
done.
the thing.
That's how you deal with an assassin. Get the crowd control, make sure he does not move, because the outplays are what these
Can't let you get
assassins try and do. Exactly. Don't let them get close and just lock them down. Right now for RRQ Hoshi, there are a lot more options for that pickoff compared to Onic Esports. But Onic Esports, again, in the late game, will have Drian to rely on for that long-range impact. And that is something that RRQ Hoshi will have to plan around, most likely sending Vin to deal with that savior.
Man, Onic Esports, they are trying to go for a gank at the bottom side here, but Skylar actually has the preemptive movements for the moment, but on top.
I don't think they can take Boots down here, but maybe with a dawning light, Boots will be able to go for the 2v1. No, Boots just backs up. That was a proactive play by RRQ and instantly disengaged from the side of Boots. Good help and good awareness by Drian. Skylar with the Wesker is so dangerous. Keyboy could have just died there. Skylar, if you're on a Beatrix and use the Wesker, you're more of an assassin than you are a marksman. You know that?
That makes sense.
Play the bushes properly and you will be able to one-shot people. But Albert now jumps in with the shield unity. Clay going in for the follow-up damage onto Keyboy. He will not be able to run away. Clay picks up the kill, bottom side as well. Skylar reads the situation perfectly. He will just give away his turret. He will not lose his life. Sans was down there. Beautiful read.
Interesting play from the side of Onic Esports. They seem to be going for more objectives now on the board, as it is going to be one turret fall into their hands. I want to see more of these type of rotations as we are now stepping into...
They're like a more refined aura, I feel like, right? Because it actually is similar. They play as a unit, but it's all with the individual masterclass. But on the top side, though, we're going to talk about this. Boots going to get caught. Yin Yang overturn, and the flame shot from Clay will finish him off. In the mid lane as well, Albert, all of his weakness points will be popped here. CW looking for the last one. He has a crossbow of Tang. Tortoise's Poisons is there, but Albert will lose his life. The crossbow of Tang finds the kill, and Onic trade 1-for-1.
1-for-1, but for the jungle for the side of Onic Esports. So I think Onic Esports win that favorable trade this time around. There isn't any particular objective to contest, but Vin gets obliterated there with the kill pressure coming in from Keyboy. Now that is why the Selena is most of the time banned away from Onic Esports. Just look at the way he's able to play around the map.
Oh, what?
There you go. How does that happen?
Oh, and Drian, yes. He actually got 2 people on that. He got Skylar and Clay on the Dawning Light. So again, efficiency from Onic. They make little movements, but when they do, when they hit that Abyssal Arrow, they instantly capitalize.
And right on the bottom side, R7 comes back from his roaming journey. As you can see, Boots is just waiting around. He doesn't need to make anything too crazy happen. He's just waiting for the opportune moment. On the esports, they have more than enough tools to make plays happen on the back of Keyboy Selena. This is, as you guys mentioned, exactly why it's been so popular. He has already built a Clock of Destiny, so he is fully intent on scaling and becoming that next secondary carry for the team. But on the other hand, Skylar with the Blade of Despair and already building for a bit of lifesteal.
Well, on the top side, though, Albert's looking for play. Keyboy cannot really withstand this kind of dive, but RRQ don't really want to commit here. Only Lord spawning at this moment. 9th minute, not the enhanced version, still the first version of the Lord. RRQ, I don't think they want to contest this without any kills or objectives or wait. Albert moving very aggressively once again, opening up the map as this Baksha jungler. He knows how to play this hero really well, but so far still Onic just with the lead, but Yin Yang overturn and Skylar with the snipes out of nowhere. This is why Beatrix is banned as well from Skylar, not just Selena on the hands of Keyboy. Did you see how he used that render? Usually people, they aim first. This guy, he just taps on it and he gets the shot.
It's instinctual at this stage, man. But Albert here in a 2v1 situation, it might not be committed onto just yet, but the pressure that RRQ Hoshi have.
Oh, that's the revenge kill on it to Keyboy. Keyboy was able to get a solo kill. This time Vin will get the kill as well. Albert resets the Lord. RRQ, they have the advantage. 2 people were taken down. Drian has respawned, so RRQ don't really want to look for the aggressive play. CW will be able to actually get that turret in the mid lane because RRQ were not manipulating those waves in the mid.
He just walks up, attacks the turret, and that will be the mid turret gone for the side of RRQ Hoshi. So Onic Esports have a lot more options here to go with a fast rotation through that mid lane, which has no more tower. RRQ Hoshi, though, finally will be pressuring the turret, and Suns as well as Boots are still quite a bit away from the Lord.
They're going to be able to burst this down. Yeah, that's Albert picking it up. CW looking for all 3 weakness points. Sans looking for the backside. Vin is going to be able to jump onto him with the silence there. It is going to be the stun as well. Sans will be taken down by Vin's execute. He still gets away as well. It's Drian trying to deal damage to Albert, but he's just way too tanky. Where the turret is Poissons. In the mid lane, though, it is going to be R7 taken down. Shield Unity and Skylar with the Renner will gun Boots down. It's another kill in the mid lane. Clay picks it up with the Yin Yang overturn. 3 kills out of nowhere.
3 kills traded for how many? 1 or 2 at that stage?
1.
For 1. My God, RRQ Hoshi, they really are leading now, and that makes sense with that 2,000 gold lead. But Keyboy gets so low here. Is he going to win in a 1v1 situation?
One more
He
shield
might get
unity
away.
should do it. Is he going to dive the turret? That's the
No.
question. Oh, yes! He dives it. Oh my God, Keyboy!
Mistake.
Outplays Albert. That's what you do not want to see if you're an RRQ fan. Albert gets taught how to sit down by Keyboy.
That's the thing. If RRQ Hoshi, if they had just given Albert with a more playmaking potential hero, that would have been a kill for sure taken for the side of RRQ Hoshi. But Albert's so used to these heroes on the Boxia, it isn't as... He can't do that. The damage isn't as much, and he doesn't have the ability to outmaneuver the Selena in that particular way. Although that happened, RRQ Hoshi is able to get a trade on the board in that turret as well as lead in 2,500 gold.
Guys, I'm sorry. That wasn't Albert who was playing. It was Albob.
Albob.
Who's Albob?
That's his name in ranked.
Oh,
Right.
God.
Yeah, that's his actual account name. That's when he's trolling. So that was Albob for sure.
I mean, that's the issue, right? When you're a very good assassin player, sometimes what gets complimented is that killer instinct, where you can actually see opportunities. But when you're on a Boxia, the damage isn't enough, so you get baited into some situations, which is a bit less than ideal. So with everything said, though, with the Lord secured, actually, RRQ was able to secure 1 more turret, and they're back in control. So again and again, it's just individual plays all across the map. And right here, All-Star Showdown, West End for 1.
I was going to say, when Albert was going to go under that turret, the old playstyle RRQ Hoshi would have gone for it. The new RRQ Hoshi would not have gone for it, but he went for it, and he had to pay the price. So just hopefully in the future, Albert understands that he can't make the same movements like he can on, let's say, the Ling or even the Hayabusa. As guys, don't forget to help out MPL ID to be a better tournament here by just scanning the barcode and filling in the survey.
Yep. So right now, RRQ is still waiting for the next objective. That will be where they can predict Onic's movement. Because again, both these teams, they play for objectives, right? So when RRQ is in the lead, they can just wait and use this objective as bait. Because Onic Esports, they've probably studied how they moved around.
Absolutely. You know, RRQ, they're trying to use this lead to create more. They're not even going for any fights here in this early stage after getting that pick. And oh my God, Keyboy almost just gets sniped down by the flame shot. At this point, right, Onic, what do they need to do? Because they're getting poked down by the range advantage of RRQ.
It's a bit funny, right? Because for the side of Onic, if you get hit by a missile arrow, you get followed up by the
Xavier.
Right, the Dawning Light. And that's like a very long-range pickoff. But for the side of RRQ, it's a similar thing. Because once you get hit by any kind of stun from the Kagura, there's a flame shot that follows up. There's a snipe that comes out. So both these teams have a very good long-range pickoff potential. And that makes it quite difficult. I think the difference is in the durability of the members. Because for RRQ, way more people can afford to actually take some damage and still live to tell the tale. Whereas for Onic, it's just not as secure.
Yeah, they only have the Esmeralda, perhaps, as well as the Hellcurt.
Hellcurt maybe.
Yeah, exactly. Potentially the Hellcurt, but for
Right.
sure the Esmeralda should be able to sustain that type of...
is just going to be able to keep on poking Onic members because look at the range. Aside from Drian, they don't really have a lot. R7 will be able to pick up that turret in the top side, and this is where Onic just needs to look for cheeky picks. With their map pressure, they have a global ultimate. They have Sans who can make the map dark, and obviously that pick potential in Abyssal Arrow.
What I did notice is that even if Onic Esports put down Abyssal Traps from Keyboy, the Boxia has the ability to just, you know, engulf all these for himself and withstand the damage that it could potentially have. So trying to deny and, of course, limit the potential vision that Onic Esports naturally wants to have. But as you can see here, already some grouping around the Lord that is going to be very important, honestly. I mean, RRQ Hoshi, they already have pushed just up until that inhibitor turret. It only takes one more to go.
There you
but
go.
wow, Vin, what happened there?
Just gets caught out. Onic finds that location. And I just realized Kiwa has sprint and he pops it right now to try and find something. The Hellcard goes in as well.
Yeah, there you go. That's the thing that Onic needed to find there, and that's to be Boots caught in a bad situation. Yin Yang overturned, but the Dawning Light will return to favor. The Abyssal Arrow connects, and Keyboy, he went too aggressively. Skylar with the beautifully placed Nibiru's Passion will be able to take Keyboy down, and he's starting to melt everyone down. CW gets all of the weakness points, though. He's come to play. The crossbow tank can be chained, and he will use it. Now onto R7. Sans trying to clear out the bottom side wave. R7 goes in for wild charge, but he will be taken down. He goes for the wall, but he will not be able to survive. Onic with the better picks, but wait! A miscalculation for the side of Onic. R7 survives.
Oh!
Never mind. It was all calculated.
The fadeaway.
The fadeaway from Drian. The Yin Yang overturn does not connect, but Drian way too cold with it.
Man, 3 to 4-2 trade for the side of Onic Esports, I believe. And now, because Sans is still up and running, still available, they do have a really good chance of taking away this Lord, of course, unless it is stolen. Still 7 seconds on the clock. Can RRQ Hoshi contest this?
I don't think so. And talking about the cooldown on the Dawning Light, it's pretty spammable, man. Are you seeing this? It's just coming out again and again. So over there, I really think that if Skylar survives, everything is still pretty okay. But Vin, though, trying to halve HP with a single Dawning Light, that is the danger coming in from that Savior pick.
It's those moments, man, when you think like, oh yeah, Onic, they miscalculated. Never mind.
Yeah,
It's Onic, right? Drian, the last Kage, what a snipe, and what a play, I guess. They made RRQ think twice, definitely.
Absolutely. And I think there, it shows again, if Skylar, which is a lot stronger than a Grok or a Boxia in the late game, I think. So, of course, it doesn't mean that if the game goes late that Onic will definitely win, but I think they will have an advantage, and RRQ will need to play around that instead.
But I don't know, the Kagura scales, plus I feel like the Natalia is more important, I would say, than the Selena in towards the late game, but the Lord has actually started marching down there in that bottom side. A first siege coming in from Onic Esports as we take a look at the real-time win probability presented to you by the Samsung Galaxy A series. It is for the side of Onic Esports, but honestly, it was shifting towards RRQ Hoshi, so quite even in that sense. As Onic Esports, even though they are in the lead, still only a 1,000 gold lead, it can instantly be turned around as well.
Yeah, I actually have to disagree with your opinion, Arashi, here. I feel like as a 1-1 player, this is where CW hits his peak. He needs to use the abilities, he needs to pop that crossbow tank right now, maybe possibly look for the end in the next 2 minutes. If Beatrix gets that Malefic Roar, possibly even the Haas Claws with the DHS, it's going to be really hard to fight this guy. More DPS, actually. So let's take a look at his items. Oh, he's actually completed all of his items, so I think right now Skylar might be able to out-damage CW.
Well, I think you would out-damage CW when it comes to like more burst, right? If you shoot with the sniper, for example, there'll be bigger chunks. But overall, when it comes to just pure raw DPS,
Nibiru.
Well, he has to reload in the middle of everything, though, right? Where CW can just continue hitting. Of course, it will come down to the itemization as well, because CW has an Antique Cuirass as well as a Wind of Nature. So really respecting the damage coming in from Vin for sure. And he even has an Athena's just in case, right? In case Clay gets that big play on him. So again, it's a team effort.
Oh my god! Vin gets outplayed by Keyboy! Oh man, what an amazing read by the side of Keyboy.
Yeah, one member from the side of RRQ Hoshi has actually been taken down, and this gives Onic Esports the momentum in a sense that it takes 30 seconds for Vin to respawn, but 30 seconds are left on the clock, on the board. So that pickoff pressure that initially was given for the side of RRQ Hoshi has instantly been taken away, and you can see them already rotating towards that area.
Absolutely.
I mean, Vin on the Natalia will scale better and be able to burst faster than Keyboy on the Selena. I do agree with that. So Onic will need to be very, very careful because right there, Vin was behind them the whole time and they had no clue. Clay gets checked to half HP as Onic Esports go for the Lord.
Absolutely. Look at this. Onic are looking for something. Albert will be able to jump onto Boots, and now he's going to be caught. Winner's Trunch going to be popped by Clay right there. And Dreon so on point with the shutdown. He will be able to put that Mystic Field down and a Dawning Light as well. CW with a crossbow tank takes everyone down, and Skylar as well. But he still survives with that flicker. What a play by the side of RRQ to survive that one and actually turn the tides. Onic 2-2. Keyboy looking for the waves, but this actually will be favorable for Onic because look at the pressure. Look at the Lord. They're taking it with the help of Dreon, dealing the damage with the Dawning Light. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. It will be Sans and Dreon on the Lord. No retribution, but R7, we've seen him do this before. He poops up the wall. He's looking for the play. The retribution. Clutch by Sans to save it away. Vin, though, he's going to be able to melt Dreon down. Sans jumps out, and that's the Dark Knight Falls coming in.
4 members taken down from the side of Onic Esports, but they were able to get that Lord. It is a 2,000 gold lead, but look at Skylar and R7 really focus on objectives right now. They are going to be able to take this mid-side turret, even though the Lord is in the favor of Onic Esports.
They back away right now and they take all the buffs away from Onic Esports. That was a very tense moment, and right now the death timers for Onic Esports is in this array, so RRQ Hoshi can still go and try and find something else. It is 20 minutes right now, and everyone, for the most part, is at full items. It's really, really fast, and Kibo in particular already has a Holy Crystal, knowing that he will be going for those cheeky pickups onto the squishy carry members of RRQ Hoshi.
Yeah, the top side as well. It feels like even when they have this pressure, oh, Sans jumps in, Vin gets solo killed on the bottom side. But yeah, again, to the point, Onic, they were able to pick up that Evolved Lord, but the thing is, they weren't really able to convert on any of these objectives.
I mean, when you lose 4 members, was it 3 or 4?
It's hard to. 4.
When they lose 4 members with the Lord, it's hard to actually get in position and manage the waves in a way that makes it very conducive for you to take any objectives. So now RRQ Hoshi is still on the back foot, and Onic Esports have that pick-off potential to try and make use of, to try and get something before they actually go for the turrets.
I mean, RRQ Hoshi, they have a lot of good wave clear. The burst is definitely there, and did you see what Clay just made? The Holy Crystal has arrived here for the Kagura, so it only takes one moment to be able to burst down these members coming in from Onic Esports. We mentioned this before. The only person who can sustain potentially that damage is going to be that Esmeralda. So all these members from the side of Onic, they need to be careful of that potential happening.
Boots now has the Ice Queen's one as well. So if RRQ Hoshi is ever in a weird spot, they don't have a lot of escapes. If Boots gets to stick to them, that is a lot of already set up for Dreon as well as Keyboy to land their shots, and for Sans to, of course, get to the squishier members like Skylar, like Vin, like Clay. So they need to position very, very careful and maybe use R7 and his wild charge in a more defensive fashion.
At this point, RRQ, they've actually lost their goal lead. They had a 3,000 that was built up with one fight. Onic were able to turn it around, and that's what we said, right? Using the map pressure, using that kill pressure that you have from the picks, and utilizing it to create more advantages on the map. This Dark Knight Falls has been phenomenal when combat with Abyssal Arrow because you don't know where it's coming from. It's almost like a secondary setup kind of. So Sans not doing very, very well, but he has 3, 2, and 5, and he has been farming up, so he's doing just fine. At this point, with the gold advantages just swinging back and forth and already equalized, it will come down back again to the execution of the fights in the late game and the macro play to decide who gets control over the Lord and who gets an advantage. Vin now is in the back, and he will meet Sans.
I mean, we'll see what happens here. And let him pass. That's the underlying thing. So now Onic Esports as well as RRQ Hoshi, it seems like they are going to try and contest for the Lord, to be honest. But it seems like R7 there is quick on his feet. He is going to have the pressure in that top side, which means that Onic Esports will be forced to go up there and put one of their man resources to alleviate that type of pressure. But the thing is, they are easy to move around the map too. I mean, the Hellcurt can just go back down. We'll see what happens here. RRQ Hoshi have already started the Lord.
RRQ Hoshi pressured for the Lord, knowing that Sans is in the top side. he will start pathing towards the bottom side, and this is where Vin makes his move.
Ooh, there you go. Dreon will be chunked low, but my goodness, the dawning light and the survivability. Dreon with the sprint, he survives. And now Albert caught in a bad situation. It is going to be CW popping every single weakness point. This will isolate Albert and R7, Clay, Skylar, all of them will be dispersed. Onic, what a play, what a pickoff. This was what the 1-1 was picked for. Not to deal the damage in the team fight, but mostly to just isolate these members. CW going for one more weakness point is all he needs to pop the crossbow of Tang. Winter Truncheon is there for the side of Clay to survive a little bit longer, but Sans picks up a mega kill with 3 members taken out. They might just be looking for the end right here. Skylar is still available for this defense though. They need to be careful. He used his Renner shot as well, but he's gonna have to swap over to Bennett. There's no way that they defend this without Bennett. That is a 4-man pressured base. Onic are going for it. Skylar will have to back away. CW looking for it as well, but it's going to be Sans jumping onto the base. R7 with wild charge will be able to stop the minions from hitting the crossbow. Tang is there, but Skylar still survives. He needs to clear out the minion waves. The miracle that Albert pulled off in Season 6 will not be possible. It is a 1-1 in the scoreboard.